You've not been on my channel before, have you?
I have not.
Oh great, I'll go and edit yet another intro.
Hey, I'm Max from the Global Convoy. Mike came on a trip to Chernobyl about half a year ago, and he's now helping us put a roof box on the back of our Morocco/Western Sahara bound car, and hopefully it goes well.
Now for those of you who have not already seen it, I highly recommend checking out the Global Convoy's YouTube channel. Run by Max along with friends Becca and Joelle, they organise overland adventures around the world that you can sign up to and join. If, like me, you want to go on an adventure, but you don't want the headaches involved with organising it, then joining a convoy trip might be the thing for you. You'll get to meet loads of like-minded adventurous people, experience things that you'd never get on your standard package holidays, and probably in the long run even save a little bit of money. I'll put the links to their website and the channel in the description below. In order to go on the next adventure, that meant preparing some cars, and for Max, this meant building a roof rack that could be mounted to the back of his car that could carry a set of water containers and a jerry can. The first step in building a roof rack is to create a design. Now you don't have to go to the same level I did and produce full technical drawings for it. I do understand not everybody has access to thousands of pounds worth of industry level CAD software. I do, however, and so have no problem abusing the absolute living out of it for personal projects. Using SOLIDWORKS to design a roof rack did have a few advantages. Using the weldment system in the software allowed me to create an accurate cut list for all the parts. As this roof rack was to be made largely from offcuts and bits of scrap I had lying around, I really needed to make sure that I got it right first time, as I had no spare material. In addition to reducing any possible waste, as there were two of us working on this project, it meant that we both understood what we were trying to make and had a common point of reference. As they say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. With the drawing and cut list produced, the next logical step was to mark and cut out the parts. With everything now cut out to the drawing, we're going to prep this lot for welding and then start tacking it together. So we're going to mark out the positions and then use a flat wheel to take off the surface rust and paint. With all the parts cut out, we could start welding them together. First of all, I welded the lower side bar to the front bar, and then with Max's help aligned this with the rear bar, and again tacked it all in place. base all tacked together and diagonal measurements taken to ensure that it was square, Max started to prep the areas that needed to be welded. I then took back over and carried on the process of tacking and welding everything together. With only the top 2 bars left to tack weld in place and finished with whatever job I'd given him, Max came over to lend a hand.
Well, if you said, hey, Frank,
No, because it's like that bit can't go through any further.
how tight is that? Could you put the magnet here and the magnet just holds them?
I mean, either that or you want to hold it and engage safety splints. You can do it that way.
Yeah, sure. Just say,
I would
that's
turn
the right place.
turn your head away as well, because.
Oh, I definitely will, but I'm saying like that's the right place.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
Comfy, it's in the right place, and I'm looking away.
Turn your head. I'm just going to pause the video here for a second. First of all, don't do as we're doing, use a proper welding mask or goggles. Second of all, anybody want to guess what happens next? I'll give you a couple of seconds. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Right. I can see that in your sleeve. Sorry, man.
Oh, crikey.
I saw that one. Oh, sorry, Matt.
Are you filming?
Yeah.
Alright, Vanessa, that's how this happened. Crikey.
That's right, I almost set fire to Max. But then again, he did almost run me over that morning, so I feel we're even. With the flames extinguished and the frame all tack welded together, it was then just a job of running around and fully welding all the joints. With the main framework welded up, we're going to cut and weld in a couple of the pieces of this angle line to help support the mesh that's going to go in the bottom of the framework. With the frame all welded together, the next step was to cut out and weld in some mesh panels. In order to weld in the mesh panels, I marked around everywhere it came into contact with the frame and ground back the paint and rust. Yep, this is as boring and tedious as it looks, and I'm only going to show you one of the 5 panels that had to be made and fitted. Now when it comes to welding in mesh panels, be careful in your choice of mesh. The stuff you see me welding in here is mild steel that had been painted, and it wasn't actually too bad to do. Unfortunately, some of the mesh I had lying around and that we had to use for 3 of the sides was galvanised. Galvanising contaminates your weld and gives off some really nasty fumes. Don't use galvanised mesh. Ladies and gentlemen, after much cutting, grinding and welding later, I present to you the finished roof, basket, thingy. With the roof rack created, all we need to do now is make some clamps and then we can bolt it onto the roof bars of the car. What we're going to do is take a section of 25 by 25mm box section and split it down the middle to give us 2 U pieces and then put a set of M8 bolts through it. After splitting the box section into 2, I lineage back the edges before moving on to marking out the positions of the holes and drilling them. After making the first clamping plate and checking that it fitted, I left Max to finish drilling the remaining 3. Due to the size of the rear bar, we weren't able to drill through and put bolts through it, so instead studs were welded to it. With the studs welded on, we then just needed to drill the holes in the front bar. This started with a smaller pilot hole being drilled before being followed up with a step drill, which also had the advantage of deburring the holes. Behold, the completed roof rack bolted to the car. Unfortunately, that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you're new to the channel, then please check out some of my other videos. I usually post videos about projects I'm working on and places that I've travelled to. If you want to find out how the roof rack got on my latest trip, then please hit the subscribe button and also go check out my friends over at the Globalconvoy. Once again, thanks for watching.